And I caught up with ANZ's Chief Executive Mike Smith after the presentations. Mike Smith, welcome back to Lateline Business.
Hi.
Now, no surprise over interest rates, I guess, but you talked about CPI, the food costs. We've also got this skills shortage that's building. What are your outlook for inflation and interest rates?
I think inflation is definitely going to be an issue as we move forward. Not only the commodity prices which are flowing through in terms of food prices in particular, but as you say, wage inflation is going to be an issue as we move forward. That is going to create pressure for the Reserve Bank to lift interest rates at some stage. I think hopefully we'll see that the strength of the Aussie dollar will take some of the heat out of the need to adjust interest rates, because I think as we stand right now, raising interest rates would actually have quite an adverse effect on most of the economy, taking away the natural resource sector, which of course is doing very well.
The banks had good improvement in net interest margins, partly due to funding costs falling. Where do you see NIM moving to next?
It's definitely going to be coming off now. I mean, I think that we've reached that plateau where it will continue. We're already seeing the competitive effects, particularly in the institutional bank. Margin compression is real there as banks are competing for deals. That is creating a downward pressure on margin.
Speaking of competition, we've got the Senate Banking Inquiry report coming out on Friday, and it looks as though they, rather than going for the big four, they're looking at ways to try and bring up the smaller players, particularly accelerating tax breaks for foreign banks and perhaps revitalising the mortgage-backed securities market. What do you think of those two initiatives?
Well, I must admit I haven't seen any detail of that, but I think I've said to you before. I've lived in 10 countries, worked in 10 countries in my career. I find actually Australia is one of the most fiercely competitive environments for banking. So, whereas the inquiry was into competition, I think we've got it in spades.
Yes, well, except that the profits continue to go up of the big four banks, and your dividends are now spilling forth to the great pleasure of your shareholders.
Which includes most people in the country in one way or another in terms of their superannuation. But I think if you look at the return on equity of the business, we're about